Hello, and welcome back to Liberty Teas. I'm your host, Kerry K. Edwards. Whether you're listening with a fresh cup of Earl Grey or taking a quiet walk, I am so glad you're spending a little bit of your day with me. Before we dive into today's story, though, I have to share a huge personal milestone with you all. After 20 straight months of an absolute developmental marathon, I have officially graduated from the developmental coaching phase of my manuscript. Working alongside my brilliant editor, we've spent almost 2 years untangling 1866 maritime logistics, diving deep into the spiritual and systemic trials of 19th century women, and unearthing the fierce intellect of figures like Matilda Jocelyn Gage, Susan B. Anthony, Elizabeth Cady Stanton, Annie Besant, just to name a few. It has been an ultra marathon of the mind. So, what was my editor's parting wisdom after all this intense work? She told me, go back to the page and rewrite the whole thing. So here I am, starting at page 1 and rewriting the whole thing. Honestly, I am so ready to start this rewrite. I have been thinking about it for months. But before I open up chapter 1 again, I'm taking just a brief moment to let my brain decompress. I've been spending some time at the easel playing with light, shadow, and reflection in my latest oil painting. It gives my mind exactly the kind of cognitive rest it needs so that I can bring fresh granted energy to Marianne's journey. To mark this milestone, I wanted to take a step back today and share a piece I recently published on my Substack. It's about the very foundation of this project, the original spark that started it all. Here is the original sentence from 1866 that changed my life. The seed for Liberty Teas was planted in my mind back in 1998, or maybe it was 1997. What I do know is that was the year I almost lost my life. I had just walked away from a highly controlling religious environment. My entire world had been turned upside down. And I don't know how I even survived. But then my grandmother gave me our family journals. The contents of those pages quite literally saved me. It all hinged on a single sentence. I'm not going to the service today. I'm staying in to wash my head. Besides, cleanliness is next to godliness. Those words intrigued me. Here was a woman who simply decided a church service wasn't going to get in the way of taking care of herself. I didn't know at the time what head she was talking about. Was it her head, as in her hair, or the head, as in the bathroom on the ship she was traveling on? I didn't know, and I didn't care. All I knew was that I wanted to learn from her. I wanted the power to decide for myself when, how, and what I was going to claim. That is where it all began. That was the moment I discovered the liberating power of voices from the past, sparking an obsession with historical women that have driven me ever since. I finally sat down to write this story in earnest in January of 2022. Since then, it has been built on top of a 30-year dream, fueled by the research required to finally do these women justice. Recently, I found myself standing in front of a breathtaking antique mirror, and I took a photo of myself. The reflection created this mesmerizing infinity effect, a repeating loop of light and architecture fading deep into the background. It struck me how perfectly that image mirrors this entire journey. Looking into the glass, you see the present moment, but you also see endless, receding layers stretching back into the past. It looks exactly like the layers of history I've been unearthing. And just like that, initial spark from 1998 that brought me here. Thank you for being here through the rough drafts, the revisions, the quiet moments in between. The foundation is poured, the blueprint is in hand, and the rewrite is about to begin. Thank you so much for joining me today on Liberty Teas. If you want to read more of my thoughts, or if you'd like to see the painting and the antique mirror reflection I mentioned, be sure to head over to my Substack. Until next time, take care of yourselves and keep exploring your own layers.